Welcome in, you fine folks, to Chat It Up Sports. We are here post-Sugar Bowl with our resident Georgia fan. We will have all the insights on.
He's doing okay.
He is doing okay.
He's doing all right.
Fine.
He's doing better than I thought he was doing.
We're golden, brother.
We do not need a better help commercial right before this.
No.
That's good.
No.
That's what we needed right here. But what we do need a commercial for is Mike's Hole in the Wall.
Yes.
This wonderful episode is brought to you by these fine folks here with all of the best wings, which Daddy's definitely going to get right after this.
Oh, yeah, man.
I'm starving.
Yeah.
I'm
I've been missing
starving.
these wings.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
I wasn't in the mood until I got here and I saw this family over here chowing down. I'm like, today's the day.
Yeah.
Today's the day I want these. Thursday Night Football, do we even have that?
I think
no.
that's done.
Yeah, that's over.
I think that's done.
So we have nothing to follow up the Sugar Bowl.
We do. I mean, we have the Tax Slayer Bowl.
What is?
The Tax Slayer Bowl with
Is it still
Ole Miss and Duke.
It's still the Tax Slayer Bowl.
It's still the.
Shout out to Butch Jones, man.
Shout out to Butch.
He was undefeated in the Tax Slayer Bowl.
Dude, we could cook the Tax
We
Slayer,
could
baby.
cook, baby.
We could cook, baby. But yes, best wings in town, in my personal opinion, along with the dog-friendliest patio in the entire world, they say. And we are
It's very warm.
It is very warm. Daddy's a little toasty. Got to take the jacket off.
That's why I'm out here, man.
Right under the heater.
Yeah, I had to go on this side because I saw the heater.
That's not your game right now.
It's dog friendly. That's why I'm here. Roof.
Yeah. Our boy Grant, he's got like the perfect spot. That heater is cooking him.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how long that hoodie's gonna last over there.
Maybe coming off.
How you feeling? Grant? You broke a sweat yet? No.
Feeling good,
Not
man.
yet?
It's warm right here.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in a nice spot. Also, speaking of heaters, I found out that we have an electronic fireplace that actually works. We didn't think it worked.
Yeah.
You just gotta have to hold down the power button for a while. So this random addition this family made before we got in there saved my life today because me and Grace were just hanging out downstairs and I was like, it's really cold downstairs. We're just windows on both sides. It's just not a great spot.
Yeah.
Fire up that bad boy. Like a little sauna in there, boys.
How did you figure this out?
It works good. It works
So,
good.
It wasn't me. Not going to take credit for this. And this is my wonderful wife and much smarter than me, Hannah. She was kind of messing around with it. She's like, we've never used this thing really. And I was like, I thought we tried this. Like, didn't really work. Pow. Held it down for about 5 seconds. Changes colors. It's one of those like wall intention, like the nice things. Fancy, boys. Fancy. So
Hannah
now
called BS, man. Hannah was like, that's BS, dude. This thing works. I know it does.
Yeah, definitely.
She's tenacious, you know.
She is.
Very
She's
tenacious.
tough. She's back at work. That's right. Make that money, honey. So we are live in living color. Of course, Malcolm Harris, Garrett Tolley, Joseph Guthrie, and our last run with intern Grant. I'm sorry we don't have your camera out here today, but intern Grant has been a big help for us putting together today's show notes. So 3 claps one time for Grant's last show. Wonderful, boys.
That was freaking.
That was good.
I mean, that was
I thought we had a pretty good one
year
on.
later, we are so on par with this thing.
Yeah,
that was
the
great.
timing's there, the rhythm, like even like the enforcer, like good smack. We got it.
The air between the claps.
We're like the guys
Yeah.
who wear the red coats, and go to hospitals and sing to those people. They're just in sync,
You should have just said.
Dang, I missed you, big dog. I missed you. Also, thanks to Mike's on the Wall for this water. I could not have used that more. Joseph, we'll just go ahead and kick it off. This is a post-game reaction show.
Let's do it, man. Let's get into it, dude.
Yeah, we as GT said, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
But where's your head at after the full Georgia season? Waves.
Full Georgia season. This is it's something I mentioned to you guys pre-show. This was the most games in a season since like 2021 I've had to sweat because this was by far the closest that Georgia's had in terms of games over the course of the year, and they were up and down. This was a very flawed team that Kirby Smart had rolled out this year compared to what was happening in 22, 21, and 23. But yeah, man, I feel good. I think this is one of Kirby's better coaching jobs to have ended up winning the SEC with this team and securing a first round bye. You come up short against Notre Dame, but I still think it's a pretty damn good coaching job from Kirby on the year to have made it this far.
I mean, I think you're without, arguably what was supposed to be your first round quarterback, right? I think receiver play has been atrocious all year.
Oh, dude, it's been unbearable at times. And it's another one of those problems that occurred throughout the season and again in this game in a moment where you needed it, reared its ugly head. and Dylan Bell just drops what was probably going to be a walk-in touchdown.
Absolutely.
And it was not only is it a walk-in touchdown because I believe they ended up scoring on that drive, but you save the amount of time that it takes to drive down the field. So not only do you get that time back and give yourself more time, but you build momentum on that quick strike play like they did in the Ohio State game in 2022. Like something like that you can capitalize on that happens bam, bam, and gets you right back into a game, and you just miss the opportunity like you had all year.
So where do you give Notre Dame the credit? Because they won the game. They
For sure. And that's
their defense is excellent.
100%. And this was a hell of a coaching job by Marcus Freeman.
Absolutely.
And this is one of the things that when he got hired, I was like, I think Notre Dame's going to end up liking this more than Brian Kelly. And I spoke to a Notre Dame fan when we first walked in, and he, I won't repeat what he said, but he had some choice words about Brian Kelly, and he was very excited about Marcus Freeman. And I told him I was a big Marcus Freeman fan when he got hired, and I thought ultimately they ended up having more success. And you saw that in the way that they were prepared and the way that they showed up in this game as opposed to how Notre Dame had looked in previous renditions of this. What was the famous lines about Notre Dame? Well, they'd make it to the playoffs, and then they'd get blown out. That didn't happen today. They were a well-coached team. They're super physical, and they came ready to play.
Yeah. The big thing about Notre Dame, and I know they made this comment in there, they are the second leading team in forcing turnovers in the country.
Yeah.
Behind the Texas Longhorns. But we're talking one. And then today they made that impact because it really sucks for Gunner because it's, the stats were fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
Didn't look incredible, but that's one of those. He has his best drive, what could have been a total momentum shift. If he goes down on that second drive, 70 yards, 7 minutes, you're just pounding the rock, you're hitting just nice intermediate throws, all the things. And then Notre Dame gets that one forced fumble.
Yep.
And it's against CTN, who we talked about, has nightmares in that place, dude. Nightmares. And so today it's just boom, what a momentum shift on drive number 2 that you had it. Like that.
Yeah.
That's just hold on to the rock. You're probably going to continue to score. Right?
And I think that's one of those scenarios where if you hold on to that ball and say you don't even get the touchdown, but you end up getting a field goal, more than likely the half plays out 6-6.
Right.
And Kirby doesn't try to be aggressive probably at the end of the half there.
Yeah.
Thus leading to the Gunner fumble because your left tackle was getting cooked all game. Notre Dame was absolutely eating whoever you put out there at left tackle. But ultimately Gunner ends up getting hit, fumbles. Notre Dame quick turns it into a touchdown. A 3-point deficit becomes a 10-point deficit. And then next thing you know, in 25 seconds, Notre Dame's up 17-3 because they immediately run the kickback in the second half. What have we talked about throughout the season for teams? The middle 8. How you finish the first half and how you start the second half determines a lot about how a football game goes for you and your team. Notre Dame absolutely crushed the middle 8 of that game. And ultimately, what led to them winning this game was building that lead and Georgia not being able to, number one, run the ball, which was a problem all year, and forcing Gunner to have to play from behind. And that's just not something he was comfortable with.
Well, he inherited a team, last game of the season?
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's really hard to get that chemistry there. I mean, I just think the rhythm, even if he doesn't look bad on stats doesn't tell the whole story. There's a lot of connection issues with that. And so you can inherit a situation where there's not a lot of the same rhythm and groove that the prior quarterback brought. So, I mean, I think a lot of that plays to it too. I mean,
and I think a lot of also you saw with the struggles, some of the struggles that Gunner was having, you saw the same struggles Carson was having. So it kind of tells me that, a lot of Georgia's struggles throughout this season weren't necessarily the quarterback position. Carson at times didn't play great. The interceptions are what they are. But the receiving core was just not what it was the past 3 years.
It was abysmal.
It was a liability. Consistently this season, it was a liability for them. And it's hard, especially when you're a new quarterback and you're building chemistry and you've had this team, you're the head of this team for 3 weeks. When you go out there and you dial up a perfect throw and it just gets dropped.
Yeah.
It's tough to build momentum off that. And I will say, they had the big play early on with Arian Smith. He's been dropping those balls earlier. If he finally catches one, What happens? You get a sideline interference. So a ball that's inside the 10, all of a sudden you're at the 25, drive stalls, you settle for 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's small moments like that mixed with the consistent problems that you had this year, and then Notre Dame just being prepared and Marcus Freeman and his staff out coaching you, and it's just a snowball that you can't avoid.
Joseph, let me ask you something. You are the athletic director. You're sitting down with Kirby Smart at the end of the year. What are some areas of his football team that you want him to address in the transfer portal or via recruiting? Where's Georgia weak right now?
I mean, I think it's probably the weakest position that they've had since Kirby's been there. It's receiver. You've consistently under-recruited the receiver position. Outside of, yes, you did have George Pickens, and yes, you did have Brock Bowers. Ladd McConkey wasn't a highly recruited guy. That's one that just kind of, hey, props to your evaluation. You ended up hitting on that guy. But outside of those three, who has Georgia really had that's been like okay, this guy's a Sunday guy? On the outside, 100%, he's a Sunday guy.
I think receivers are going to be more excited to see maybe Gunner at the helm than Carson. I can see more transfer portal guys coming over if they said, hey, maybe Gunner's taking the reins here. He's going to be the new quarterback and leave Carson behind and start fresh with something else. I think you could see a lot more success with that than going back to Carson.
I hope so. And it's something that they have put emphasis on in the 2025 class with getting Talon Taylor and C.J. Wiley. Like, those guys look like bona fide dudes, but that's in high school. You know, we got to see how that translates. I really thought that Nitro Tuggle was going to be a guy throughout the season. They threw him out there. They threw him a fade ball in one-on-one man coverage, but it didn't go his way. I think maybe if he had played earlier in the season and he would have had more experience to build on that ball might have looked a little bit different. But also, it is still Gunner 3 weeks in. He doesn't have this chemistry with these guys. He doesn't know where Nitro necessarily wants the ball. He doesn't – like, he looked good with the back shoulder throw to Dylan Bell, but there were other times where he threw low. Yeah, exactly.
That's his roommate.
Well, there were other throws to Dylan Bell where it was like Dylan Bell's got a little bit of separation and Gunner just hits him on the back hip instead of hitting out in front of him, things like that. So definitely receiver position, man. And they've tried. They went after Dane Key. He ends up going to Nebraska. They're trying for Zachariah Branch. From what we've heard, it's between Georgia and Tennessee now.
I believe they're trying for Mike Matthews as well.
I don't know if I haven't heard if they're going to host him or not. They were hosting another receiver, but his name has left me. So I think
so many now.
There's
so many guys. Like, everybody goes to the portal. Like, every guy puts their name in the house.
2,000 kids. That's
like, how do you weigh that in high
2,000.
school? How do you weigh that in high school? And then, you got maybe some Arena League guy who got an extra year on his scholarship. It didn't come to fruition.
It's crazy, dude.
Because now you can play till you're 27 or 8 years old.
Yep.
He's like, well, shit, man.
Yeah.
Well, Darius, no, you can't go back. You can't go back.
Can't go back.
You can't go back. I will not take you back. You stuck in arena football.
It just like you don't do high school. That's the big thing. It's like high school kids are kind of done, man. They're kind of done.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd say that because I still think
kind of for the next. Well, I guess now this might be one of the last years, with the COVID years and all this stuff finally going away.
Yeah,
but for the last couple of years, it's kind of felt like that.
Why would I recruit high schoolers though?
There's no need to.
Like, from y'all's standpoint, like, why wouldn't I just go get a JUCO guy that's proven, that's like an Alvin Kamara or a Cordero Patterson in a Tennessee case? They went to Hutchinson, and you just develop them and just pay them NIL money.
And I think that's kind of what you're seeing with Bill Belichick. He's building that kind of mentality, is that, hey, we're going to build a program for a pipeline to the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's a pipeline to college? Or probably a JUCO, maybe some farm league of a couple JUCOs, or maybe even a G5 schools that kind of work their way into that. And I think you start seeing this branch off into maybe a tree of like a baseball, like how baseball is a little bit, is if they don't change the way NIL's done. I mean, that's just how this is going to all work out.
Well, we're moving to a revenue sharing model. Like, that's going to happen.
That'll help.
So it will change, and it will become not traditional recruiting, but more along the lines of traditional recruiting. And then NIL will probably move to what it was originally supposed to be, where it's like, hey, coach, Nike wants to put me in a commercial or something. Okay, that's fine. Instead of having a collective just be like, hey, dude, we're going to hand you like $8 million to come play here. It'll probably be more structured when that revenue sharing model gets implemented.
That BYU kid, man, he got $7 million.
Yeah.
Like they got billionaires involved now. Like I think it was the owner of the Jazz.
Yeah,
he's a BYU guy. And
they've got some money coming out over there.
And I think that's where you're gonna start seeing. This is actually a good transition to the question I was gonna pose to you guys. So this is where I think you're gonna start seeing how sports compare to each other with NIL. Like who cash is king, right? Like you can go play baseball and make the most of any profession probably rather than football, but how do they start comparing? Because I saw something where Quinn Ewers' value is about $6 million on the market. $6 million. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for one guy, but that's his value on the NIL market. So in the scenario, because we got the playoffs heading to the next round, the semifinals, where we have Texas playing Ohio State. If Texas loses to Ohio State, does Quinn Ewers end up back at Ohio State?
No, I don't think so.
Because, hold on, because you can't – Arch Manning's going to transfer if you don't use him. He's gone. So you're going to risk losing Arch to keep Quinn, and he's deciding between maybe that. He's a second or third rounder at this point. You're getting in the NFL draft, so he would be closer to maybe improving his draft position by going to an Ohio State with a Jeremiah Smith, who just is only getting better as we watch him age. And you already know the playbook in the system because you started there.
Yeah, but he was with a different OC.
But he went there because of how Ryan Day develops quarterbacks. Now, just a question I was posed. I'm throwing it out there to see what's y'all's thoughts on that maybe being a tea leaves thing. I don't know.
I would say no.
Okay.
And I would say no because Ohio State's they've already paid for their quarterback of the future.
Yeah.
They paid for Julian Sayin. They bought him. He transferred from Alabama when Nick Saban left. He was a 5-star guy. He was, I think, the number one quarterback, if not number one. Yep. He was top 3.
He was in the top 3.
He's their quarterback of the future. So why would you – I don't like the idea of you – and I don't think it works ultimately for what Ohio State wants to do, trying to cycle through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback every year and paying these guys on the transfer market. I think ultimately you're going to have more success when you get a guy early in-house, you let him learn the playbook, because anybody that comes in, if it's Quinn, Julian's going to know the playbook better because he's been there with Chip Kelly and Ryan Day for a year long.
Certainly.
Yeah.
I think that's very fair.
And they also have Tavian coming right after that.
Yeah, Tavian St. Clair is also.
Yeah, he's coming there.
He's a guy.
He's an early enrollee.
If y'all not seen him.
Quinn Ewers will be in the great city of Chapel Hill, North Carolina next year. That's my thought.
I think he's going to be in the same conference. I think Miami has been very quiet in the portal because they have a gaping hole. Cam Ward is gone, but they have some talent there. I think he's either going to be in Miami or I could see the quarterback whisperer being like, yo, I'm in Los Angeles and this house ain't cheap. I need somebody to help daddy pay the rent. I could see him going to Southern Cal on a 1-year, $10 million deal.
I mean, you can see what I'm saying, though, because Quinn's not staying in Texas.
Quinn's gone from Texas.
He's gone. I mean, this is his last little hoorah. So it's win or lose for this Texas team in Quinn Ewers' case.
And I hope he takes the advice that many people gave Carson Beck of do not go to the NFL draft.
Well, I think you're going to see two guys not hire agents. If Carson Beck is as smart as I think he is, he's going to get evaluated, but he's not going to hire an agent because he would be open season for the highest bidder possible. He should come back to school.
He's already declared.
But has he hired somebody? Like Cam Ward declared last year.
I'm assuming he already has an agent.
I think Carson should just pack his bags and choose a different profession. I don't think there's a future for him. I mean, he'll probably do okay. I mean, he's not going to do well in the NFL. He's not built for the NFL.
Can I tell you about this quick search? I was like, does Carson Beck have an agent was what I was going to ask. The first question that comes up when you type, does Carson Beck, and it fills it out, have a Lamborghini?
Yes, he does.
Yes,
The answer is yes.
Yes, he does. I was like, all right. And it says, so here's the next one. Here's the total off trail. Says, does Carson Beck have a Lambo? Does Carson Beck get paid? Does Carson Beck play baseball for Georgia? Does Carson Beck own a private jet? Those are
yes,
those
yes,
are
no,
val-
no.
How
Those
much
are, those
money do they think this guy's getting?
I don't
Dude,
know.
It's just Google autofill.
I don't know.
But why would
Uh,
that be like the?
That's your top 5 right there.
That's that Gen Alpha generation right there. That's just pumping up the Google numbers. I have no idea.
He does have an agent, but these are.
Yeah.
So here's the thing too: is like it doesn't matter anymore. I think the NBA is a little different,
Yeah.
but all these guys have agents with NIL. Like
Yeah.
all of them have
Yeah, they do.
NIL agents, so they're already with an agency. So I don't know what those ground rules are anymore, as far as like, does it matter if you have an agent nowadays because you already have an agent for the last 2 or 3 years?
I mean, I don't feel like you have to. You can probably negotiate your own deals, unless you're like, a high school kid and you're 17. Like Ryan Williams probably couldn't have negotiated his own deal because
Yeah.
he's technically a minor. But like if you're an 18-year-old senior or you're a 19-year-old freshman,
Yeah,
you can probably negotiate. I wouldn't advise it personally, but you probably can.
I just think these guys should go to these lesser tier programs, right? Like I'm thinking of like Jalen Milroe. Go to UNLV with Dan Mullen for $5 million. Take out an insurance policy for $15 million in the off chance you tear your ACL in the first 2 weeks, and just ball and just develop your game and then go somewhere else. You see what I'm saying?
Like, don't even care about the
Like the
CFP, all that stuff.
That should be the last of your concern to me. I think you need to just you need to think about self at this moment, because obviously you're not cut out for it, right?
See,
I think this
that's the
window's
problem.
bad.
Is I think that's where I think that's what's leading them to do this is their self. Because all these guys, like for most of these guys, yeah, they are getting paid, but it's about the NFL, man. That's the ultimate dream. That's the ultimate goal. Like when you go to play college football, it's not, hey, I want to make as much. Like for some of these guys, they understand, they see the writing on the wall. It's like, I need to make as much money as I can while I'm here, because I'm not going to make it in the NFL. Some dudes get that, and hats off to them. But some guys don't. And some guys are like, I'm going to do whatever it takes because this is the ultimate goal. This is all I've ever wanted. This is the whole reason I ever started playing football. So that's why it's probably not that's why they're not doing these like, well, I'm going to go here and I'm going to get this bag and then I'm going to go there and get this bag, and then like the NFL can just go do the NFL. Like that's their ultimate goal. Like that is their life aspiration.
Yeah.
And to tell them, I understand where you're coming from,
Yeah.
because financially it might be the better
It
idea.
used to be the goal when the NFL was the only way to become a millionaire. Now you can just say, I just need to get to college, get the money, and then I'll figure out my next step. I don't see it the same way. I don't think kids are raised with that same thought process. They have these trainers, these programs. They start doing this stuff at like 7 years old. What's that one little kid's name?
Baby Gronk.
Baby Gronk.
Oh God!
I mean, dude, they've been
His dad
promoting
is horrible.
himself
He's the worst
forever.
father.
But like, there's other kids doing that, and it's just, I just think the whole thing is different. They just want to be noticed on social media, get the bag, do whatever they're
it's a
doing.
shorter term mindset.
Yeah, there's no NFL. It's like I just think it's different. I don't think it's the same mentality.
I think it's different for some of them.
Yeah,
But I think you can see
And I
that
think
in
there's
their
both
social.
sides. Both sides.
Yeah, for sure. Because there's a spectrum of players and their personalities and how they what their reasons for playing football are, and you can see it obviously with some of these kids that are more active on social media.
Yeah.
particularly the guys that post TikToks and things like that. But then some of these other players, like they don't really post much on social media. Like Jalen Milroe, he's not very active on social media from what I've
Yeah.
seen. Like he posts on Instagram and stuff like that, but most of his stuff on
Yeah.
like Instagram and Twitter and stuff like that are things like his ads he's featured in.
He's the
Yeah.
roback.
Yeah.
He's Roback. Yeah,
yeah.
Roback's paid him some
Those-
nice
Yeah,
money.
he
those
was
type of
jacked in those
guys-
things too, man.
Those
He-
type of guys are
beast
the
of the
guys
world.
for
Yeah, I
me.
don't look that good.
It'd be
yeah,
nice.
Roback don't look like that on me.
Those type of guys are the guys for me that still have that old school NFL mindset, where it's like in their head they're like, yeah, I'm already a millionaire. Okay, now it's kind of like the if you could do anything you wanted to and you didn't have to worry about money, what would you do? Most of these guys is like, I'd play in the NFL.
I play football.
Yeah,
Like not even just play football.
I
It's
play
like, I would-
football.
I
and
would-
want to get paid.
No. Like what I'm saying is they've already made so much money in college.
Look at Zion Williamson. Like, dude, if he could stay at Duke and get paid for what he was probably worth now, I mean, he probably would have stayed longer than a year. He just would. There's no way.
Maybe.
Why
but-
risk go to the NFL and like, hey, now I can make $10 million this next? Because that one guy from BYU is setting a precedent. He got $7 million for
Yeah.
1 year of basketball. It's
Yeah.
insane.
yeah. And Bonds is like one of the best prospects we've seen. Like he reclassified, or Cooper Flagg reclassified. He would be a higher pick than Cooper Flagg. Like
Really?
that's how good he is.
He's
And
from
Coop-
Utah. I
And
think.
Cooper is special. Like, hey, he is a special talent.
Cooper is an amazing talent. Man.
Amazing talent. So, like, all that to say, and I was listening to somebody talk about him, and there's like, it's like shifted the bell curve because you have guys that are so forward thinking that they also like listen to every business podcast. Like, I can make this money. I have people like in my corner. It really, I really think it depends on who's with you on your team. Like, some of those guys might have the wrong dudes and they're thinking real short term. And I think that's a lot of dudes. I think that's a lot of guys. And I also think there's a lot of guys that are pretty self-aware. I don't think Milroe is going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL if he makes it. If he makes it.
He is.
So he might be a guy that's like, I'm going to get my bag while I can. This is my insurance.
Why
policy.
not?
Exactly. And so, but for Abanza, it's like, I'm going to go make this money. He's already talked about investing it. He's like, I'm going here because BYU is going to work on getting me set for life. Like, that is one thing that these billionaires like, I'm going to set you up. They're creating like their own business courses.
Yeah.
When you get to that level, yes, you're busy, but I also think you have so much free time you can give back in different ways. Like, he's like, I think these guys are like, you're going to be special. Let's invest in you in different ways. So they're so forward thinking that you have, I'm going to go be a bazillionaire, but also with my NBA money, with also like how good I'm going to use this NIL money and just invest it in whatever these guys tell me. And I think that's part of his like thing. That's why he went there. He was like, these guys told me what I wanted to hear long term. And I think there's so many guys like, I'm not going to get a bag. I'm a second string guy. Bam, I should be playing, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the best guy that's ever come through my side of the state,
Yeah.
whatever. But then they might have like, I'm not even going to get on the field at Georgia.
Yeah.
So like, man, and I've heard what guys are making leaving NII to go to small D1. Like they're getting $10,000, $20,000.
I would take that. dude.
Exactly. It's like if you're never going to make it,
Yeah.
you know, you're moving up.
Yeah.
And you're going from some FCS program, and you're not going like some of these guys that go from FCS. Sure, like they're going to play and they're going to be stars. We've all seen it, but dude, I think there's a lot of guys trying to get their bag, and I think there's also on the opposite side, there's so many forward thinkers now because you're just access to free information.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to get my bag, and then I'm going to go on and I'm going to do this. And I think there's so many guys that have, I know how to get to the NBA. Here's a blueprint, exactly how I want to do it. And the NFL is just a little harder, I think.
Yeah. It's harder to make it because there's also like there's so many roster spots
53
available in the NFL. Yeah. As opposed to however many college athletes come out
80
every
or
year.
something.
Yeah. It's like,
I will say something that's unique that I was sitting here thinking about is, you know, if I had an NIL deal or a son going to like a major like Michigan or Alabama, I would want some of his deal to include Bitcoin or some type of cryptocurrency. Like,
There's going to be all those.
I want you to like triple down on this so like you can set him up. Could you imagine that though? Like if you have a portfolio before you even turn 21, that's like a multi-$1,000 portfolio.
Yeah.
Like
And that's a big part of like what they're doing now. That's why
I think
these guys are going.
A lot of players get paid in Bitcoin. In the NFL, I know that there's that one Detroit player who like structured his
Odell took his
contract to be
Rams deal.
Bitcoin.
so much percentage of his salary is
Yeah,
doubled.
like, it was like that's like 10% or something. But like I've seen that. I don't even know how you could pay someone in Bitcoin because you have to have the Bitcoin, and it takes so much to mine Bitcoin. And there's only so much. I just feel like the organization would have to go out, buy the Bitcoin, and then just slowly pay that to him week by week because you have to have the cash to do that. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, these are going to be very interesting times because now there are a lot of people are just doing like, hey, I want 80% of my salary to go to this investment, or these guys have so many opportunities. Like, hey, I want my rowback money to pay for my investment, and then or my NIL, ice cream social money to go here. Like all this stuff is just going to go into different portfolios, and you're like, dude, these guys are going to be if they just keep it, just keep whatever 80%, 70% of that bag. And if you know you're an NFL guy or an NBA guy or an MLB guy, you're set for life. Live off your 15%. You'll be
Exactly right.
cooking.
If I was a college kid right now, I'm telling you, if I was a college kid right now and I had NIL money, good enough for D1, so it's more than 50 grand, I'm buying me those Kona ice trucks. I'm buying like 3 of them. And I'm sending them all out. And I'm going to just rake it in the summers.
Kona ice
at
trucks.
baseball tournaments. Oh, my God.
You're just traveling around.
Hand over fist, my profits would be crazy. That's what I would do. That's how you get paid right there. Just like send out the Ravens of Kona trucks.
Here comes the Tolly Ice Fleet. Just
There comes
All your
old
flavors
Tolly.
right here. That's what I do. That's what I.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, my
There
God,
is
man.
your life advice today from Garrett Tolly.
You said what?
Miss me?
I did miss you.
Yeah.
We've missed you, buddy. We sure have.
Oh my God.
So let's get back to
so before, but yeah, so there
Back and
are
forth.
there are 3 other playoff games we need to talk about. But before we move on from Notre Dame, Georgia, there is one question I wanted to pose to you guys, and it's not a very deep. Don't give it a whole lot of thought. Just quick answer. Is Marcus Freeman more successful at Notre Dame than Brian Kelly?
Yeah, I think this one got it.
What year is it? 4.
Year 4 for I think year 4 for Marcus Freeman.
I don't think so. Although this one was amazing, you still lost to Northern Illinois and you haven't been to a national championship.
And you still lost to Marshall.
Yeah, so I don't think so. I think if he goes to the national championship, yes. If he goes, doesn't even have to win it, has to go.
So you got one more game.
So Brian Kelly never won a playoff game at Notre Dame. He did make a national title, but that was in the BCS era.
Yeah.
And they got ran out the
It's
building.
Just the worst.
But
That's
Yeah,
the thing
wow.
about Notre Dame is that like there's no supplementary like there's a conference champion like he has this many versus that many at this point. Like it's just like it's either playoff or bust for Notre Dame. So it's hard to compare that because I think Marcus Freeman needs one more game just to tie the
one more
legacy.
big win.
One more big. Well, he needs to go to the championship. He needs to go out there and beat Penn State. And Penn State's looking damn good.
Yeah, man.
They look mean, dude.
They did.
Now,
But so did Notre Dame, dude.
Granted, it's SMU and Boise State. I get it. They're like tougher games compared to maybe Ohio State's road if that would have beaten Oregon. But, man, they just look so strong against those guys and so dominant that if they fought against a Notre Dame, it's going to be close. It's not a guarantee.
It does feel like a lot of people are playing for second right now.
It does. It does. And I can't think of a better way to transition into our next game. Boys, Ohio State stomped an absolute mud hole in Oregon in the Rose Bowl.
You talking about the 2001 Miami Hurricanes of Oregon?
Yeah.
Well, it looked like the 2001 Ohio State Buckeyes.
Listen, Oregon, they talk crazy about me. They said for y'all to get another bald guy that he doesn't need airtime.
Oh,
That's what they said on TikTok,
Whoa.
man.
I remember.
Oh, I was chirping yesterday.
I remember the comment.
Did you go back? Did you go
I
back?
love
Oh, yeah.
Miggy in the TikTok comments.
Yeah,
man.
I'm in the comments.
Where's he at?
I was like, how this? They were like, this didn't age well. I was like, buddy, did it not? Did it not age well? I think it did. Don't ever disrespect me, man. I know ball. For
Dang,
every
bro.
Mickey take, there is some heat waiting.
I feel like you backdoored into this one so
I
hard.
did. I did for sure.
Does it make you feel better about Nico?
Oh my God. I was about to ask you that question. So I want you to answer your own question. Does that make you feel better about Nico?
It shows me that Nico is a good survivor. Because that line, how good they played against Oregon, proved me wrong. I sit here corrected hard. I thought the one time was like we were mad. I didn't think Tennessee played good. I'm not saying like it's a pretender type thing with Tennessee, but they just weren't on the same level. They weren't on the same tier. They don't have the same talent. Ohio State proved me wrong again because I actually thought I was like, Oregon, this will be very similar to their last game. I thought this would be a shootout and Oregon would kind of still win it. Buddy, that top end talent's playing. And Jack Sawyer is just working.
He's going to be
That
a
offensive line.
Pro Bowler, bro.
Dude, the defense is crushing it.
That's the thing. They're both offensive and defensive line coaches. Bravo. You have done more than I ever expected. They were playing at a low end. I thought the offensive line, I was like, attack. Guess what? I think Tennessee tried to, got worked. I think Oregon did the same thing. Left-handed catch. You guys saw that.
Hand club.
Yeah. So I was just shocked. Them getting Burns back for Oregon, I was like, man, they're going to have a tough day. That offensive line just didn't have to play well against Tennessee. They weren't up to snuff. I just think this ran into a buzzsaw, dude.
Yeah.
Ohio State's just incredible. I don't know what to do.
Dude, Oregon, I mean, they finished with, counting sack yardage, negative 23 rushing yards. So, yeah.
They
Finished with less rushing yards than, and we didn't mention him, the highest draft pick on that team right now, but he can't come out this year, Jeremiah Smith. They had less rushing yards than he had receptions. Not receiving yards, receptions. He had 7 receptions, 187 yards, 26 average, 2 touchdowns. Any game where this man doesn't get at least 10 targets, if he needs it, like in this game, he only needed 7. Any game where that man does not get 10 targets is coaching malpractice. Jeremiah Smith was the best player on the field, man. If he was draft eligible, he'd be the first Ohio State player taken this year. Somebody might tell you, depending on what needs, it'll be Caleb Downs, and I'll give you that. Depending
Caleb
on
Downs.
needs, depending on
he's the defensive version of freaking Smith.
But
What the hell is wrong with Caleb
he
Downs?
He can't
man?
come out either.
He's good as
Caleb
hell.
Downs can't come out either.
I know.
He's got to go back a year.
Yeah. It makes me so mad.
Why
I mean,
why is that a rule? I don't know. Is it
I don't
21?
know
Because
why.
most times, like, these guys be way small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get Jeremiah Smith every day.
Yeah, no, these
6'4",
are.
Or Ryan
220.
Williams out there in the NFL. That would
Yeah,
be
no, yeah.
that'd be scary.
Yeah,
That's one hit away from.
yeah.
Done.
They are
Really dead.
Yeah.
These are the anomalies.
Okay.
But man,
Yo,
I can't get over how good Jeremiah Smith is. Dude.
he looks like Julio Jones reincarnated. Like, it's weird. Like, big body, fluid, can run every single route. He looked like he was gliding yesterday. But there was one catch, I think it was by the boundary, by the sideline in the third quarter, where he did like a 360 and like toe tapped. He's just weird.
Best body control I've ever
He's
seen.
got insane body control.
Like, it looks visibly different.
Him and Ryan Williams both. Like, that's the thing. That's when we watch Ryan Williams at Alabama. This
Yeah,
year, I was
but-
like, dude, it's
Yeah.
both different. But then Jeremiah does it with a physique that just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
That's the thing, man. He just looked like he does have that body control that Ryan has, but he's just so much. He looks like he's so much stronger,
Yeah.
like in the hands and in the leg. Like he just looks like he's solid, and he's a bitch to tackle. I cannot imagine trying to hit that man.
And he's so smooth. Like, I think that Ryan Williams is twitchy, and he gives you like that little like like
He's a prodigy.
yeah, it's like
He's a prodigy.
Jeremiah Smith is like, welcome to Delta Airlines.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
gonna get us to our destination safely. Here's a 70-yard touchdown. There's some cookies and a Coke on your table. Thank you for flying Delta.
Yeah.
Like that, I felt like I'm watching a jet take off when I see him. Man, it's crazy, y'all.
I didn't
Crazy.
take it into consideration. I don't know if you guys thought. Did you guys see Saban talking about it with McAfee today?
No,
No.
Uh-uh.
And I didn't put it together, but he said Saban said, what scared me the most was watching Oregon in the secondary versus Penn State. And he's like, I'm not discrediting Penn State, but that secondary got torched. I was very worried that now what you saw at Ohio State, this could happen. I got it, did. And I didn't put that
Yeah.
together. I was like, yeah, I thought, you know what? Penn State's just getting a lot better. Bad day for Oregon defense.
Yeah, and it felt
I
like
didn't think about that.
it felt like Ohio State could have named their number in this game. Like if
Oh,
they were
this-
like, "Oh yeah, we want 63."
Yeah.
Here you go.
I mean, it was 34-0, and I couldn't. I mean, like at one point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it
it was 34 to
first,
nothing.
first
nothing.
half.
Halftime was 34 to 8.
Okay.
They scored at
because
the
they
very
scored and literally got the 2-point conversion with zeros on the clock.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, Oregon, even when they got that, like I looked at my brother and I'm like, well, yeah, Oregon gets the ball to come out in the half, and if they do, it's 16 to 34. I'm like, but it felt like it didn't matter. It felt like it didn't matter.
The air was let out the balloon at that point.
Well, it just felt like Ohio State at that point is like, okay, we've set the bar, and we're gonna let you try as close as you can to get close. And the moment you do, we're gonna move it, and we'll just do what we've been doing all day. And it just, I don't know, man. This team, and we talked about it in the preview, and I talked about it when they played Tennessee. It felt like watching that game. It wasn't about what Tennessee couldn't do or what they weren't prepared for. It felt like that whole game was about Ohio State.
Yeah.
And this Oregon game felt the same way. It felt like it didn't matter what Oregon did. Ohio State was just like, we're going to do this, and we're gonna do what we want to do, and we're going to lean into who we are, and see if you can keep up.
It's going to be a scary boardroom meeting with Phil Knight for old Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
He'll walk in there and be like, "The hell was that?"
Yeah.
I said, "Unlimited NIL money."
When you run up against a more expensive team.
Yeah.
So, like, can somebody, like, let's just say Elon Musk was like a Texas fan. Could he be like, I want to give Jeremiah Smith $50 million? Could he do that today?
Right now, as it stands.
I think so. Yeah.
As it
Like,
stands.
could he be
now.
like, hey, I want you to come to Texas. Here's $50 million.
Yeah. Essentially.
That's what he did with Trump.
Show me your NIL deal, baby.
Yeah.
Go run the country, dog.
Yeah, dog.
He said, now,
You gotta show up for these ice cream socials, you know?
hey, now they're neighbors in Mar-a-Lago.
That's right,
Oh.
dude. I don't know. I think that's gonna slow down because we had a lot of misses this year. I think there's quite a few guys that are like, eh. But dude, to go back to the Ohio State, like the Travion Henderson 60-yard run, that's the one I was like, they're so they are selling out on this pass so hard. You just run a simple, widespread run, and it's gone to the house because everybody is trying to cover.
And who's your
Trying.
backup?
Yeah.
Two or
Trying.
three unbelievable wide receivers, some stud tight ends. You could throw Judkins back there. They got to cover him. It's like when they want like line up and you have all these guys out there and they have finally had the intention of being like, we're going to use them to their purpose, which they did in the first Oregon game. They just had some turnovers. Like, it's unbelievable to watch. And I know we joked about the best team ever draft or the playoff.
Mhm.
This one might wind up being kind of the scenario where, like, I know they were an 8 seed, but dude, that's
Well-
one of the best teams. Like when they play at their top end talent, they just had the worst loss they could
Yeah,
possibly.
and this is who, like, when the 12-team playoff got announced, these were the teams that realistically were going to make the runs.
Yeah.
Is the Ohio State that just, for whatever reason, they lost the first game against Oregon. That was a nail biter or whatever. Then they dropped that whatever game that was against Michigan. Who knows what happened there? That's just a mental thing at that point. Okay, they get the break. They go in, slam Tennessee, get hot, slam Oregon. Now it looks like they're probably setting up to slam Texas. And I mean, this is who is going to make these runs, is these teams that have the depth, they have the talent, and they just couldn't put it together a couple of times in the regular season, finally get it clicked in the playoffs, and here they go.
The Michigan loss was a kick in the butt. That's all it was. I mean, it was just kind of a
It's
like
all
a,
mental.
a
Like,
Best
wake
thing
up.
to
and
ever
just like,
happen to them.
We're not gonna, because they did kind of coast through the Pac-12,
the Big Ten.
the
Big
Big
Ten.
Ten. Sorry, they coasted through that whole entire conference, I mean, all year for the most part.
Very easy schedule.
Well, they struggled with Nebraska, and then they did lose to Oregon, but Oregon's Pac-12.
Yeah.
I mean, Oregon was a Pac-12.
Yeah,
but like,
you know,
so
it's-
I mean,
and Autzen, like it's all the things.
they didn't hot knife through butter their schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
looked, of course, in the first month of the season, nobody was talking about Ohio State because they had played nobody until
Yeah,
September.
you're beating
Yeah,
Northwestern.
I mean, you're
Purdue,
playing.
and,
Yeah,
like,
you're
just-
playing like Northern Illinois, Tech and
Youngtown
things.
State and
Yeah,
stuff.
like-
Yeah. That's one, and I think that's why I had that feeling. I was like, okay, they finally showed up to their fullest potential.
Yeah,
Didn't know if they could repeat that process. This right here is terrifying. And also another part that I loved watching, and this is another Saban thing. It's like, watch them. They wound up going out of under center. Like, they can do whatever they want
Yeah.
and dominate you. And, you know, every team goes out of the gun, but
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we can go under center and beat you if we want to.
Yeah.
We'll run 25 plays under center and just pound the rock and get you for 5.5 yards a carry. Dude, what do you do when they finally live up to their potential?
And Will Howard, I mean, he's been playing his best football of his career last 2 weeks. It's not even close.
Did Kevin O'Connell like come down or something?
I
Teach
don't
him how to
know.
play.
Yeah.
But he's accurate, man. I think he's had, I'm looking at the last 2 box scores. He's had a total of 13 incompletions in the last 2 games.
How many tutties?
That's insane.
He is sitting on 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. So to me, man, I don't know if you're going to be able to stop them. I do want to give a shout out to Jamad from Tennessee. He held Jeremiah Smith to 103. You
Sub
know,
110, baby.
you know, it's crazy.
It's a long day.
It's a long
like
day. It's
like
long.
looking at the box score, Tennessee was down 21-10 with the almost option to cut it to 21-17 against Ohio State. I feel so much better about the Tennessee Volunteer Program after yesterday. It makes zero sense.
Yeah, they spanked us.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
still, like, it does make you feel a little bit better.
Like, okay, we're not just trash.
No.
Ohio State is
They-
a juggernaut.
And I think Texas has the offense to keep up. They have the offense to keep up. Do they have the defense to step up? I don't think so. I think Ohio State has the edge on the defensive side of the ball. And I do think they have I think Texas has a better edge at the quarterback position. I don't care how well Jeremiah Smith's playing. Will Howard still the ball, and he's playing really great football. I'm not going to say he's not. But Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning interchangeably at Texas is a very hard combination to stop. The defense is just where they lag, and so I don't know how that's going to turn out. So Ohio State, I still think, gets the edge, but I think Texas has the offense to keep up.
Being transparent, yesterday, Arizona State was plus 1,800 to win that game, and I threw the house, right? Profited a little bit. I took it out. You know,
When they tied
it
the
went
ball
from
game.
plus 1,800 to like plus 140. And I was like, this is too good to be true. Out of there, ski mask.
Oh, boy.
Quinn Ewers needs his flowers from this show. Quinn absolutely won them that football game yesterday. He walked them down twice, and their kicker was an absolute head case.
Dude,
I mean,
all
I
season
know
he's been like that.
we should not blame kickers, but bro, like, all right, I'll bail you out once, but twice, I walk them down twice, and you miss twice. Once to the right, once to the left. I don't know. And then in overtime, it got crazy, y'all. It got crazy. So I don't know. We'll make predictions whenever. I know we got a lot of time, but I don't think Texas is just gonna roll and just lay down. I think they're gonna fight
Yeah, I suppose that too.
for sure.
Ooh, got a strong whiff in here. Yeah, somebody's taking some medicinal medicines close by.
Yes.
We are in the North Shore. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
We are in the North
It's
Shore.
the cool part of town,
Yeah,
man.
it's the hippies.
It's
yeah.
edgy.
Yeah, edgy. Talent-wise, like, this is the closest matchup
Yeah.
left.
Joseph,
Texas,
you're over
Ohio-
there thinking.
Texas, Ohio State. I'm just
Yeah, it's
processing. man.
like
Yeah.
probably overall, like, top to bottom, closest to Ohio State.
I mean, you think it would be Oregon, but no, I mean, not anymore.
I mean, if we're talking, are we talking? I guess you're assuming you're basing that off blue chip ratio.
Yeah,
Like star power.
Blue
If
chip.
it's blue chip ratio, honestly, just from a roster standpoint, the closest team to Ohio State is probably Georgia.
Yeah.
But they're out, so I mean,
Yeah.
there's
it's
like,
what I was saying. Like,
teams left in. Yeah,
team
it's,
left.
it's Texas. It's definitely
Y'all, it just really sat in just now. Either Penn State or Notre Dame's going to play for a national title.
Yeah.
This will be a brand new head coach is getting their first national title. So we will now have three active head coaches, barring one of them doesn't win and peace out. 3 active head coaches with national championships in
Wow.
the sport come next year.
Well, James Franklin or Marcus. Wow.
James Franklin, Marcus Freeman, Steve
Oh, man, I
Sarkisian,
just
or
thought
Ryan
about
Day.
That's
The
exciting for
storybook of Penn State, James Franklin finally getting their win over their Big Ten opponent, them getting the win over Big Ten monster Ohio State is how he solidifies
In
his
the national
legacy.
championship.
in the national championship.
Bro.
That's way more than just like
you
beating
beat
Ohio State.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like you beat the Bear in the biggest event.
I mean, and
They got to beat Notre Dame first. Though.
yeah, they do.
Notre
That's
Dame was
not-
good.
That's not just
That's probably my favorite 2 defenses to watch. Right?
that game's going to be like a heavyweight fight. Like it's going to be
And these
You
are
get
like
punched
big
in the
boys.
mouth,
Like
like-
yeah, these aren't the lighter heavyweights. These are big boys swinging at each other. You know.
And this is in the Orange Bowl, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, Joe Milton was in that game a couple years ago.
Chucking them,
Yeah.
chucking them, baby.
It's
It'll
pretty
be
exciting.
their first Orange Bowl, either one of them.
It's been exciting,
Where's that?
dude. We still got 2 more playoff games. Like
Yep.
3.
Yep.
Usually by now it's all done.
And
We've
I'm
had
actually
so
looking
much
forward to both. Are you
extra.
guys?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I hate the timing. I don't like that it's a Thursday night. I don't like
Where are you gonna put it? There's so many games now. You got the NFL.
Friday
you're
night,
dealing
and Saturday
with.
night, dude.
You got NFL and
Who
stuff. You got
cares?
basketball now starting to kick off.
Friday and
No,
Saturday.
dude.
was sick.
Friday and Saturday. Put it Friday,
Well, I
Saturday.
agree. I'm not saying that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not in charge of these places.
Give him a call, GT. Give him a call,
GT, you're
brother.
the governor,
Bro,
baby.
you got the pool. Just phone them up
Hell
real
am I gonna
quick.
call?
Hey, just calling in. Just
I'm
see
like,
if this is
hey,
the right
I'm
spot.
a 1-800 guy, man. That's like, let me speak to your manager.
Y'all need to move this game.
We speak to your manager.
But yeah, so Thursday night is Notre Dame, Penn State, and then Friday night is Texas A&M, Ohio State. What a brand matchup, man! Texas and Ohio State. Did I say Texas A&M?
Yeah,
Texas and Ohio State. Sorry,
I want to see
can't find a Longhorn
the
fan.
jersey combinations. This is probably politically incorrect, but I can say it because I'm black. I want to see color on color.
Oh, dude, that would look sick.
Yeah, like
That
the
looks
USC Southern Cal matchups. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Black
yeah.
or the
Oh,
red?
all right, cool,
Black
cool,
or the red uniforms?
Uh,
Or white?
I'd say red. I want to
The Scarlets?
Yeah,
I do love
for
the
sure.
Scarlets. Those are
With
so
scarlet jerseys, white pants.
Mhm.
So white
No,
pants,
scar-
white pants, scarlet, and then burnt orange.
No,
That
red,
would-
red.
oh,
That would
pop.
look good.
I'm sold.
Red,
It
red,
pop.
black.
I was just
man.
sitting here thinking, like,
Throw the black helmets on. Don't do the silver ones. They're black ones.
They're sick.
They're so nice.
They have they can pull out some good uni combos. This
Yeah.
week. Penn State, get out of here.
I mean, they're
Dude,
just
they have
Alabama.
nothing.
with
it's
dark
so
blue.
boring.
Yeah,
They've
it's
got to
so
get rid
boring.
of tradition at some point. Like at least like
No,
throw a little
no,
tiger on a helmet or something. No, a lion. Puma?
No, dude.
It's a Nittany lion. What the hell is a Nittany?
If you're Penn State, listen, and I'll die on this hill. I'll be that one guy. It just like if you're Penn State and you're Alabama and you have these like tradition, old school uniforms that you've had since like probably the 18 freaking hundreds, keep them. That's your thing, man. Just like Oregon can go out and wear 15 different uniform combinations and it looks sick. Like I love the tradition of the uniforms from Penn State and Alabama and how they're simple and they're clean and they just look good. Like you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You ain't gotta go out and get like some Nike Pro Combat uniforms. Georgia don't ever do that again. Those were horrible.
Yeah, those were not.
You ain't got to do that. The Boise States were
That's
one
one of my
clean,
best,
but-
one of my favorite
Yeah.
color combos.
Yeah, Boise State's Nike Pro Combat uniforms. Bring those back. Those were sick. But yeah, I'm a tradition guy for those old school programs like that.
Yeah.
I like Alabama and Penn State's kind of like.
While
I
we're on the
guess,
topic
simple continuity.
of uniforms, bro, whoever styled Oregon for this matchup, the chrome helmets with the jersey, it was disgusting. It was not good.
I like
Didn't
the
like
chrome helmets by themselves, but I didn't love the combination.
Yeah, like
Dude,
don't do that. Like go all retro or like go. You guys remember the Auburn National Championship game? You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
When Oregon was there with the highlighter with the
Yeah.
chrome.
Yes. Okay.
That was like peak era Oregon for me in terms of uniform stuff.
oh, dude,
But-
they're chrome helmets with the Oreo splatter jersey
Yeah,
and pants.
yeah,
That looks.
The Marcus Mariota's
Yeah.
season like era.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They still got all those jerseys. They just
It's
I wonder what. Oh God, such a good look. That's such a good look. Dang. The traditionalist stuff.
Yep.
I don't know. It just they have such a good fan base. You don't have to worry about like hopping it up every time.
Mhm.
I think that's one of the fun things about being a Tennessee fan is like pulling out the new unis. It's somewhat traditional. I think we float the line a little bit.
yeah.
I think we're the closest like to both sides.
I agree.
Like Oregon's all in, different unis, all this stuff. We're down for the pageantry, but you know what? We're like a little smoky gray.
Yeah.
Even though we suck in those, but yeah, overall. But traditional, classical, any of those words you got to use to describe a uniform, it just means they're boring.
You know,
I don't know.
a
man. I
lot
don't
of
like-
people do, like you said, you can still be traditional and add some flair or some kind of change to it. I've listened to plenty of people take music of an original and then add a flair to it, and it still has its soul, but
Yeah.
you make it a little nicer.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I
no,
just think the
there's
helmets are ugly.
nothing wrong with that.
Oh,
So
it's a
you're
white helmet.
traditional program that busts out black jerseys and you
Yeah,
get
every once in a while.
slammed in them once, and you're just
Yeah.
like, then the whole fan base is like, yeah, these are cursed, and they just never want to see them again.
But they sold so many of those, and they made fat stacks everywhere, baby.
Yeah.
That's what happens, bro. That's what happens. You want some revenue makers? You're playing some good sports, because I know the black stuff and all the cream for that sounded terrible. For baseball,
That's so funny.
yeah, so for baseball, they've made so much money. Every volunteer traditions place, every ball shop made so much money from those uniforms.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you it's the right thing. I'm just telling you.
Well, I
I'm
saw,
telling you it's the right
I
thing.
saw an
Joseph.
edit for Alabama the other day on TikTok, which TikTok I'm starting to like really fall in love with. I hope it doesn't go away. But I saw chrome helmets for Alabama, and I was like, get this shit off my screen.
That
like-
was-
You can hold it and say, I don't want it. You can say, I'm not interested.
I did that, man. I saw Margot Robbie, and I held it. I was like, I want to see this.
Understandable.
Tastes like you're a liar.
Dude, TikTok has a lot of
no,
different
I'm
avenues.
disagreeing with you, dog. That's just-
A lot of avenues on that
Yeah.
app.
No. Overall, though, I know we didn't really get into it. I want to give flowers to Cam Scatterboo.
God, bum, what a
We
dog.
haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
And
Offensive MVP.
bro, he was throwing up. He was in pain. I think he tore something. Like the guy, I called him like a heroic version of Peyton Hillis. I've never seen anything like that guy. And I know he can't come back. He's not eligible for college football. He's done. He's not over. He's going to be a star in the NFL, I feel like.
Plays with so much heart.
Yeah, he'll make a team. for
He's
sure.
got that cult hero about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, like I'm like obsessed, low key. Like, damn, I wish he would have went to New York.
I would buy a Scatterboo jersey
Yeah.
if he went to Washington.
Oh,
Absolutely.
dude, that would be a perfect team.
I think he would do well there.
Yeah, he needs to replace Brian Robinson's boy. never-
wonder
I would
why.
hey, leave Brian Robinson
I
on.
wonder why, baby. Somebody followed a tailed something.
Man,
I wonder why.
no, but seriously, he's an OG, man. Like he played physical, and I like Arizona State. They will be back.
Yeah, Kenny Dillingham's not done.
That boy can coach
I
now.
just don't know if he's going to be there much longer.
He'll stay there. He just signed an extension. He's an ASU alum. Like he wants to be there.
Yeah.
That's another place. Like you're like across the board, like the biggest party school in America, and you're a huge campus. You're in Arizona. Like that's another place. They found their footing, and they got some cash money coming
Yeah.
in from some donors.
And
That's
Big
a
12.
terrifying place.
And
Yeah.
and
that
Big
that
12.
place can
That
start
would sell,
taking
bro.
off.
Such a good point.
Big
That
12
is
is conference.
another-
You can dominate it. You can
Yeah,
dominate
you
the Big
can win.
12.
It
You
is
can win the Big 12.
Yeah, it is ripe for somebody to elevate themselves as a program and just year in and year out dominate.
What's
Because
the most
we haven't
dangerous
had
team
that.
in the Big 12 right now? Who's just like the most dangerous brand? Is
The
it
most-
Colorado?
Still
The
think it's
most
Colorado.
dangerous
No.
brand, if it's just brand, I think it's Colorado
Yeah.
because they can attract. I think it's easier for them with what Dion's done and because he's Dion
They just got that
to attract
quarterback.
top end talent. Yeah, they did just sign Julian Lewis. Like
He's a beast. He's
Yeah, he looks
He's
good too.
number
Dude.
one quarterback. I think,
Yeah,
coming out of
yeah.
Carrollton.
he ran the state of Georgia in
Yeah.
terms of football, like
Who
crazy.
did he flip from?
He flipped from
USC.
Oh,
USC.
Okay.
which is a big difference, dude, going from like the beach to the mountains.
Not even just USC, like from flipping from Lincoln Riley,
Yeah.
the like quarterback guru,
Yeah.
who's had 3 Heisman Trophy winners and has 3 starting first round quarterbacks in the
Yeah.
NFL now.
Yeah.
To go away from that and be like, yeah, I'm gonna go play for Dion. That's huge influence, man. So from a brand perspective, it's got to be Colorado.
I think Dion just gives you a lot of belief in yourself. He just makes you want to be better than what you are. And I think he makes you feel that. Like he can make you feel it. Where a lot of coaches, they got a little bit more of a logical, technical side to them where it's here's how I'm going to show you I'm going to be it, make you the best. But like he'll make you feel like you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, he can tell you the what and the why because he's done it at the highest level. He's not just made it to the NFL, but he dominated at the highest level
He
in
was
his
a
position
phenom.
at the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the greatest players of all time at his position. So he can tell you when you get there, it's like, okay, here are the X's and O's, and here's what we're going to do. Okay, here's why you're going to do it. Okay, here's how to build yourself as a pro athlete. Here's how to project yourself for the NFL and build your brand and take care of yourself. Because he's done that. He's been there. He's done that. He's fallen from being a top pro athlete into dark times and gotten through it. Now he can instill that in players. And I think that's just really attractive for young guys who have been told probably their whole life, yeah, like you got NFL talent. Like you can make it.
Yeah.
And then they just surround themselves with somebody who's been there and who's also building a staff of guys that have been there and done that.
Yeah, like Warren Sapp.
Yeah. Like
on purpose.
if you're
guys,
you're a D lineman, like you don't want to go
better?
You don't want to play for
Sapp.
Warren.
It's like, what's wrong
Yeah.
with you, bro?
and that's another part. That's a good point because and Sapp's another guy too.
Yeah.
Building your brand is a huge part of these kids nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially at Colorado. But Deion does it in such a good way where I think he's old enough where he's kind of gotten past. Let's be honest, he was probably a big narcissist kind of guy there for a while. And
Yeah.
I think he's. I mean, you're the greatest athlete in the world, pound for pound or whatever at one time. So I don't even judge you for that. It's just one of those. I think he's gotten past that. He's got so much self-awareness about where they're at. He keeps telling everybody, he's like, we're going to be here. We're going to make these steps. He's really laid this foundation out of how he's going to do everything, how he's raised his boys, how he's raised Travis and helped him up. And he's like, come with me and I'll show you how to be the greatest college football player in the country. And Travis just
Trust with his dad.
Yeah.
went
Trust his
to
dad.
Jackson State.
Well, dude, he took the ultimate non-selfish route going to Jackson State in terms of going and just getting a bag at Florida State.
Yeah.
In a realm where that's what people are doing now is going and getting bags. Travis was like, nah, I'm gonna go play for Deion.
Especially that Florida State team.
Yeah.
You'd have been playing with Jordan Travis. You'd have been you probably would have gone to the playoff. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Him and Keon Coleman together. Oh my
good
God.
gosh, dude. I don't care how bad your quarterbacks are.
But Jackson State prepped him to be able to play at a higher level both ways. I don't think you can just come out of high school and just go right into the D1 big time and do that. So I think in a lot of ways, Deion was able to control the situation, was able to control his son, control his prodigal,
Athlete,
kid. Yeah, I mean, the scenario in the narration was all through him, and he was able to actually create Travis to what he is now. Because I don't think you could have done that right out of high school. No way.
No.
I don't know if anybody on the staff at Florida State also would have been able to understand his skill set the way that Deion has. And I think that's what also contributes to him being able to play, number one, as many snaps as he has and on both sides of the ball, because Deion's probably told him, hey, this is the toll that being a pro athlete takes. So if you want to prepare like a pro athlete, this is what you have to do just to play one side of the ball. And I can tell you what it's like to play one side of the ball at a high level. Here's what it's like. If you want to play both sides, you have to do this and this and this. So I think that's also something that contributed, because if Travis had gone to, say, Florida State, who knows? He might have been told, hey, you're only going to play corner, dude. You might do punt returns, but we only want you at corner. Yeah. We got Keon. You don't need to play receiver.
He might have got the Charles Woodson treatment.
Yeah.
You might have 42 catches your whole career.
Yeah. Have a package where you get a jet sweep on occasion. And versus Deion's hey, I'll build a team around you.
Yeah.
You and Shador, I'll build the team around you guys.
Will there be another Travis Hunter? Will we see this more?
In when you ask that question, in what way?
Will you see a guy play both ways? I'll kind of make it similar to baseball, a pitcher and a
Shohei.
Like a Shohei. Are you going to see a quarterback also play middle linebacker, or are we going to see those unicorns ever again? Because I've never seen Travis Hunter before, and I truly think that that's why he won the Heisman. He was not the best receiver in football to me. That was what's my man McMillan from
Tedderone. Dude, I mean, honestly, the first time we talked about this, it was Ted McMillan. I think it's Jeremiah Smith.
It is.
I think Jeremiah Smith, the best receiver in the nation.
Yeah,
man.
no doubt about it.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
But Ted's going to be the number one wide receiver pick.
Yeah, there was a time where I would have been, Ted McMillan. He should have won the Biletnikoff. He's the guy. But the more I watch Jeremiah Smith, the more I'm like, how do you not say he's the best receiver in the nation?
Do you feel like Travis opens the door. Like, it's kind of what do they talk about, the 4-minute mile? Like, nobody ever ran it, and then all of a sudden one guy runs it and everybody runs it.
Yeah.
You got to want. There's been other two-way players before, like
But
nothing at that, not at this scale. Like there was a guy, like I said, finished for the Heisman. He was a two-way player at Holy Cross back in the 80s. You know, he sat on the stage and everything, and he lost. He got third or something. But there's been guys in it before. In my opinion, I think you got to have the will to do it. Like how many guys want to go out there and play that?
I think Travis is in a spot too, like playing a little less physical position.
Yep.
On both sides.
I agree.
I think you have to.
I agree.
The closest we would get, I really feel like, would be like a tight end linebacker.
I don't
know if you could do that.
That's one of the things I was going to say. If we do see this again, I think we'll see attempted emulations. I don't know if we'll see. Obviously, you won't see another Travis Hunter because that dude's just a unicorn. That's something that's rare. But you might start to see more packages. And I think instead of it being, I think tight end linebackers, I don't think it'll be an in-the-box player because I think it's just too much bang in, bang out, especially if you're playing in like Big Ten, SEC, big boy football where you're playing the best of the best in the nation. I think corner receiver has to be your like two ways, or corner safety, or receiver safety, maybe.
Safety's still tough. I guess
safety's tough.
I know Boo Carter wants to play both ways. I don't see how it's going to work. Being a safety and then being a receiver,
they'll keep him in the slot corner. That's what they'll have to do. Yeah. We got weird positions sometimes. This pack. But what else would we? If we do lose Mike, I don't know what we're
no, like literally, like Mike Matthews cannot leave, and I know that's for another time. But I am terrified he's going to go to Georgia.
Boo is the kind of guy that, be an emulation of that. I think he'll be, goodish on both sides. Like he'll have a game where he's got 5 catches for 105, 2 touchdowns, but he might have a lot more games where it's 5 catches for 16 yards.
Yeah, the thing about it also too is like Garrett mentioned, you have to have the want to. You also have to have not just the dedication to the game and knowing both sides of the ball. You have to have dedication to your body,
for sure.
Like a different level of dedication to your body. Again, I've said it and I pitched it, and I'm sorry I'm pitching it, but the destroying video where you see Travis and how he treats his body and how he treats himself. If you don't do that, you won't do.
It's not going to.
You won't even come close. Like athletic ability aside, if you're not taking care of yourself like that, you won't play both sides of the ball.
Is he still dating that girl though?
Oh, I don't know.
He's got flaws,
but he does the
She is not a good catch, man. Have you looked at some of the stuff on TikTok? Talking about TikTok, she's got to fix some stuff.
She's got to fix some stuff.
I got some breaking news. It's not that major, but it's Chattanooga related.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it. Former Baylor star Amari Jefferson has entered the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So receiver who was a 4-star, 2-sport athlete, potentially looking at 2 schools, Tennessee being one, and apparently Georgia being another. So
On3 has predicted him to go to Tennessee.
Early reports I saw from On3 where Tennessee was the team to beat. Yeah. So boy wants to come home, man.
Tennessee, man, come on.
I know his aunt very well, and it was literally a coin toss.
Really?
Yeah. It was a coin toss.
Where's he at now?
He's at Alabama.
Alabama.
Went to Baylor down the street from there.
Okay.
He's just a freshman, right?
Just a freshman, 4 years.
He
redshirted. He was the wide receiver, number 7, who absolutely looked like Randy Moss every single time he touched that football. I don't know how he didn't touch it at Alabama.
He's special.
Yeah.
He should transfer.
Yeah.
Dude, come play.
Balls can use some wide receivers, boys.
Dude, Nico needs wide receivers. We'll take it.
We need some help. Yeah. Somebody like Scatabo, too, is the versatility you saw, like the use. I was like, these like 17 tool players. That's another part. Like you may not see guys playing 2 positions, but I think you're going to see utility players more so than ever.
Yeah.
And I think Slayton, like all these guys that like go back to Percy Harvins and whatnot, like that's where the evolution is.
The do-it-alls.
The Debos, all those guys. And to see the big stocky white dude with the beard who looks like he's in a freaking Zen commercial
He's
You
the
know?
Amish. He's the Amish Army knife, man.
Yeah,
Like,
those
he's
guys, you don't see that every day.
No, bro.
I didn't think he was that good of a receiver either. But
Yeah.
dang,
I didn't
showed
realize.
up.
I didn't realize he could throw
He
the ball
caught
like
that
that.
ball, man. Took it all the way.
All right. We haven't talked about it. Was it targeting? Yes or no?
I'm
gonna
by
say-
rule, yes.
I'm going to say no. By the book definition,
But why, okay, so let's take
by
the
the book definition, it is.
But why would you say not?
I would say no because as a defender, you've run up, you've broke down, you've got your head up. That's what they want you to do as a defender. Keep your head up. Do not lead with the crown of your helmet. And you've squatted. And this guy just happens to squat and lean his head down and fall into you. What are you supposed to do? As a defender, what are you supposed to do? How can you change your body position in that and think about this in terms of how fast these plays happen, because it's real easy to watch the replay and be like, oh well dude, you just gotta do this. It's like, I don't think you realize how fast this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, what are you supposed to do as a defender to avoid that contact? Like, I personally think if the receiver drops their head and that creates head or neck contact, that's not how the rule's written. I'm not saying that's how it should be interpreted.
Yeah.
I think that's how it should be written.
What you think, GT?
What's up?
What do you think about
Oh, we need to get him in an office somewhere, not out here with us.
Grant? How do you feel, man? Was that targeting?
It's hard to say. I feel like what Garrett was talking about when you're like having to make that split-second decision when somebody's leading with the crown of their helmet on offense and you're a defender, and it's hard to interpret what's going to happen. I mean, by the book, yes. Like, practical, no.
Because it's such a good form tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I was
The
like, the
practicality.
look of it. I was like, no. But they had Sarah Tor tweeted, it's like, yeah, I've got all these phone calls. By the rules, it is targeting. But when you watch it, it's like you said, Joseph.
What do you, dude? And I'm so glad, like, personally, I'm so glad that the game didn't come down to like, oh well, we had to throw a targeting flag.
That's what I was going to say. In that moment in the game, which is why I'm electing no, it's not targeting. You can't throw that flag.
Can't throw that
You just can't. It is just because that game would have single-handedly. it would have given Arizona State the football.
It would have got
game.
it done. It would have got it
Yeah.
done.
So I understand. If I'm Arizona State, I'm pissed
Oh, yeah.
because like my receiver just didn't get a concussion just because he got a hug at the 40. Like it was a real hit.
That was a knock, dude.
Oh, the thump, man.
God. Yeah, those kind of plays, like, you don't want it to end that way, but you kind of probably would have.
That was a thump.
That was a thump,
Thump, dude.
boy. Knock
He
it.
made that turn.
I haven't heard that word in a
Boy.
while.
Dog. That was such a fun game, though.
Oh.
It was, man. In a game that I thought was total and freezing cold takes or whatever. When they put out the line and they're like Texas, Arizona State, I was like Texas minus 21. Yeah, I'll out myself, dude. I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I was wrong, though. I was
very
so
wrong.
glad I was wrong, man, because that game was so entertaining, and it ultimately, that game was the embodiment of what Arizona State's been all year, man. They're fought. They're going to hang around. And they're going to hang around. They're going to find a way, and they're going to get themselves back into this game, and they're going to give them a chance to win it late. And that's what they did. Texas had chances. They went up early. It looks like, oh, here we go. Texas, yep, that minus 21, that looks real great right now. And then they just sputtered like they'd done before in other games. Texas just sputtered, and Arizona State hung around, and they found a way, tied it up.
Felt very similar to the A&M game.
Yeah.
They just got up, and they're just going to hang on. And again, I think that's another part like about Texas is they had a little bit of the Ohio State syndrome of they don't utilize everything they have all the time. And I don't know if it's like an analysis by paralysis. Like, we have so much stuff to use. I don't know what to use,
Yeah.
And like, they just didn't, they ran the rock well, but early on like last game, but they didn't use their guys as much this time. Let's go around.
And it feels like Quinn goes through these like hot and cold streaks
Yes,
in games
bro.
where it's like,
Quarter by quarter.
like sometimes Quinn, it's like, oh my, okay, this is the first round Quinn, and then sometimes it's like, Can he see? Does he need like? Do you need Jameis, dude? Do you need eye surgery? Like, can you not see the field?
They're just not moving the football. Then it'll be like a nice 8-play, 75-yard drive.
They're one I just don't understand how they get stuck.
That's the thing I worry about. And again, we'll preview the full game. That's the thing that worries me the most with them playing Ohio State is those just random cold streaks where Texas is like, hey, we just ran like 12 plays and moved the ball 30 yards over the course of like the second quarter.
Yeah.
Because like at one point in the second quarter, I think they had like 30 or 40 yards, or the third quarter, maybe they had 30 or 40 yards, and Arizona State had like 114 rush yards. Yeah. So like that's something I would worry about as a Texas fan. But
yeah, good run. Yeah, we'll do the preview next week. Can't wait. I'm like really excited about these games.
Next Thursday, right?
Yeah, God, the game's next Thursday?
yeah, next Thursday and Friday.
I think we will be here
We'll be here.
Yeah.
We'll be here for the Thursday night game.
at Mike's Hole in the Wall, man.
Yep.
Presenting
And-
sponsor.
I don't know if it's maybe just me, but it feels like if these were the 4 semifinal games, these are the matchups that I would have wanted. Instead of like Texas playing Notre Dame and Ohio State playing Penn State. Like I'm glad it's Texas, Ohio State, Penn State, Notre Dame.
100%.
Like just the way the teams match up against each other. I feel like that's going to give us a more exciting semifinal.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring slobber knocker over in the
Oh, I think the
very
Texas Ohio
similar
State
to-
game is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think I'm very excited about that. We for the size of Texas Arizona State game, we've not gotten a lot of treats here.
Yeah.
I think the semifinals give us a lot of good treats.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things that, the art of balance is here. I think we're about to get a great semifinal. Still think there's a hope we can get a really nice championship game.
Agreed.
I think there's a chance.
Sark, oh my gosh. I need to know what he's thinking right now.
He iced his own kicker.
I need to be in his brain. Like, I need to just know.
Bird Auburn never wants to step foot in Mercedes-Benz Stadium again.
Oh, no,
That man's 0
bro.
for
I
4.
think Oregon scared him a little bit, like watching that game. I bet you he's just like pulling out all the tricks. Anything they've been waiting and sitting on, they're just going to do it.
I really think this is the Arch Manning creative package game, more so than they've already done.
Yeah.
I think this is the game they're going to be like, it's your time, big dog. We're going to have you do about 4 or 5 runs, maybe each half.
To take it a step further, if they get down 14-0, I think you pull the plug on Quinn.
If he's throwing a pick or two.
Yeah, if he's throwing 2 interceptions or a fumble,
Yeah.
I think you have to for your fan base, and it's just going to send a message like we got to ride with him. And then if he wins the game, I mean he's immortal already. So
money coming. All right, we gotta wrap it up.
Yep, there's one last game. Boys, Penn State, Boise State. Ashton Genty's lowest yards per carry of the season. It was rough.
Penn State's just a bigger, stronger, more dominant team.
They are.
mean, it was Boise State. They should not have ever been
They shouldn't have been the first round
the
bye.
3 seed bye.
Yeah.
That will change next year.
100%.
They're the epitome of Arizona State. Actually made an argument to say that, like, hey, the Big 12 could stick around.
We deserved our bye.
Yeah, we
You know, we
deserved our
fought.
bye.
Yeah.
Boise State show that the Mountain West ain't deserving buys quite right now.
You can have a spot, brother, but you're not getting the first round bye.
No.
Yeah.
So.
That game right there settled the. Let's have the talks. Let's have the talks. Also, I do want to give a shout out to myself here. Before the game, I was kind of scrolling around Fanatics, had a little $5 freebie, and I said, you know what? I have a feeling this is gonna be a 31-14 game.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Did you really?
snipe.
Let's go.
My
baby.
God.
Don't know why. Don't know why. Just was scrolling through, and I felt bad because I'm helping a friend out in a pick'em league, and I was like, man, I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be one of those over games. I thought Penn State, a couple days ago, right before the game, I was just like, Fanatics, trying to get you back in, and I've been away from the old gambling sites for a few minutes, and I was like, see what we got here,
Yeah.
Just see what we got.
Get the pen working.
Yeah,
not?
it's free.
Yeah.
It's free bet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got it?
got it.
Got it on the
much
head.
was it?
Snipe.
It was nice. Couple shekels.
I was wondering. Well, I was just wondering, like, what was the odds on that?
Plus
Probably what
10
plus
something?
I was going to say plus at least
Yeah.
a 5-digit number.
10,500, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Good for you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Hell yeah.
I
dude.
needed that one,
Hell
you know?
yeah.
We got a nanny.
I shouldn't know that it's a plus 5-digit number though.
No, we
Yeah.
got
Might
a
need to
nanny to
call
pay
some-
for. Let's go, baby.
Are
We're
you
making
okay?
money.
You need to call the red line.
Oh,
Making
it's.
money.
I mean, it paid for my attic.
Good.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah. What? And this
Responsible.
is just sub floor. This is just sub flooring. I didn't redo the whole thing. We got a couple cardboard, lay downs basically. I got some cheap 2x6s and some nice. I got some. I got half-inch plywood finished. So it went fancy.
I like it.
A couple $100. We're out.
So how did
Adulting.
you guys specifically talking about Penn State, Boise State? How did you guys feel about the Penn State like double pass, fake pass, trick play on like 3rd and 3? I mean, at that point in the game, Katron Allen was averaging 11 yards a carry.
It's James Franklin in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
You don't feel like it was like Andy Koldenecki trying to flex a little bit, just hand it to Katron Allen, man.
If you smoke them, I mean, if you got them, might as well smoke them. That's how I feel. If you got the dogs, let them loose.
I don't know why you use that play then.
yeah,
Stash that away.
I mean, yeah, dude. Again, Katron Allen's averaging 11 yards a carry, and it's 3rd and 3.
Those running backs look so good.
You could have stashed that play for Notre Dame.
I can't.
Well,
Also,
now you know. It didn't work.
Yeah. I think what's scary is like I can't believe Drew Aller's coming back because he's another guy. Him
Speak on it, bro.
and Scatabo both made themselves a little bit of money.
Speak on it, brother.
Drew is a guy any other year would not have this thought process, but with a lower quarterback class, big boy, can sling it, can move, and man, these passes look effortless, and he's throwing ropes, dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He looks so good.
He's like a mobile Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah, it's everything Christian ever wanted to be, dude.
What a pool.
Yeah. I see you, big dog. I see you working.
You
I
went
see you
deep in
working.
the back with that
Oh,
one.
I
dude.
mean, in my bag, like the fries at the bottom.
So-
Do y'all hear me?
So is Christian Hadberg. Who else do they had? Who else am I thinking of? I think they had
Trace
Penn State,
McSorley?
Trace McSorley.
Trace McSorley. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not even. Oh no, what was his name? Sean Clifford.
God, I hadn't thought about that.
Oh, you're a dog.
Yeah,
man.
you are down in that
Leech,
bag, dude.
baby.
That Penn State, that Nittany Lion bag.
Pulled that one out of David Jones' locker.
God, dude.
Deep down
But yeah, he was somebody that if he decided to go out, he would score very well in the old combine world. And yikes. But he's coming back. The running backs might come back.
I could see this being kind of like a Michigan scenario where Katron Allen goes and Singleton comes back, so Singleton could be the feature back,
The
kind of
guy.
like Blake
Yeah.
Corum. And
Yeah.
even though Donovan Edwards, that didn't exactly pan out for him this year like we thought it was going to. But I could see Nicholas Singleton being like, hey, Katron, you go do your thing. I'll be the feature back this year. Maybe. It also depends on how he grades.
That's the things like running backs. You got to go get your money in
Yeah,
the NFL while
yeah,
you can.
yeah.
1 year, like they're just so. I understand it's a business, but it's a crappy business in that if you're running back, like it's 1 year, they'll be like, it's a lot of hits.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hits.
I will say if it is good that Drew's coming back for himself and for Penn State, but for next year they really got to get him some better receiver talent. Like, because Tyler Warren's great, but like you need a couple of dudes. You don't necessarily have to have a Jeremiah Smith or like a Evan Stewart or Tez Johnson or somebody like that, but like you got to have a little bit better than what you're fielding now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give Drew needs a go-to guy. He needs like,
For
hey,
sure.
it's 3rd and 10, like 3rd and 8. We really need this. Like, I know who's open.
They're going to land somebody. They are a prime NIL spot. They're spending some money too. They're spending some money, and that's a guy. If you get a couple decent wide receivers, and hey, Penn State might have a scarier offense than I thought. And I'm a big fan of Kolnicki. I really thought him coming over was a great get. Because my coordinator out there in Southern California, that I said was going to be the best hire so far, wasn't a one-hit wonder right off the bat, but Kolnicki now. That boy can scoot. Any final thoughts? on college football? We got to go to the NFL real quick.
I know Ashton Genty didn't have the best day against Penn State, but he still had an incredible season. Hats off to him.
Dog.
Absolute dog, man. He's going to make some NFL team really happy.
He's going to look great in a Cowboys uniform.
Yeah, probably.
Frisco, Texas.
100%.
Probably.
Yeah.
He's from Frisco, Texas. That's
Exactly.
hometown.
There's
They
no
said-
doubt he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. They're taking.
No doubt. It's perfect.
They cut Zeke one game before the season ended.
Poor guy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Zeke got cut. You know how sad that is? They don't
I
let
wonder-
you finish the season.
I wonder if they were like, maybe somebody could take you.
I think to get a playoff,
Yeah,
Like-
somebody, in case somebody gets hurt or
go to
Knock
like
on
the
all the wood.
Chiefs or something.
piss me off.
Yeah.
Chiefs playing Carson Wentz this week.
Yep.
Big. Broncos need that wild card spot. The AFC.
Shout out to Bo Nix, man. And shout out to Grant as well for putting together this wonderful rundown.
Appreciate you,
You
bro.
are a dog.
Got y'all, man.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man. Broncos need the spot. I think they get it. They're sitting a lot of starters. Pat's not playing. Trav's not playing. I think D-Hop is going to play because of contractual obligations.
He wants that
Hunt,
money.
hunt, wink,
honey.
wink.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm all in.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you guys need some, listen, GT cannot. But from the degenerate side of the table,
Checking in.
we Joseph, look up all the incentives this week that people need if you want some betting help.
Yeah.
Take them singles because parlays are scary.
They're
stuff.
the devil.
They're the devil.
All right. We're no
But, I
longer
mean,
the prince.
if you did it, you have a chance to win some money.
Yeah.
Mike Evans getting
We
a
are
grade.
not responsible for
Yeah,
any-
we're
we
again,
are not
we're
liable
21
or
yeah.
responsible for your decisions.
But just
Financially.
go look them up if you are
Yeah.
in the betting mood. this
Geno Smith he's going to.
week. Mike needs something like 2 touchdowns for a fat stack.
Yep.
Marcus Scantling needs a tutty.
Yep.
100
Mike also needs like
yards.
for like
Yep.
1,000.
Yep.
To not
Geno
have
Smith,
another-
if he throws 2 touchdowns and wins the game, gets a $3 million bonus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great.
So
That's a great
clean,
bonus.
clean 3 mil.
yeah.
Oh, J.K. Dobbins needs a lot of yards.
There's some guys that got a lot to play for on Sunday.
Yeah.
Quick, Vikings, Lions.
Oh my God.
Can we pick this game?
Yes.
Yeah.
For
How
sure.
do we feel? I'll start with GT because you look so sophisticated.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're adorable, Brett.
No, Vikings Lions, man. Listen, I'm a Dan Campbell guy. I think he's got this whole team wrapped around his finger, ready to blow through the brick wall of the Vikings. I mean, I think Detroit's got this in the bag, and I think it's going to be like a 24-10. Give me 24-10. I don't even think Vikings going to do nothing.
Grant, you go next for us, brother. Vikings, Lions, pick them, man.
I feel like I'm gonna have to go to the Lions with this one. Got a few Bama boys there that I like to keep up with, and
Okay.
Jameson Williams and Jameer Gibbs, and I really like this Lions team. You know, they've had a good season so far, and I think that they can get it done.
All right. I think me and Chase are on the same page, so I want you to go ahead, Joseph.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I know
know
where
what,
your heart
man?
wants to go.
Do you? Do you? I've been riding with Dan Campbell all season,
Yeah.
and they have been beat to hell, man. But it looks like Aaron Jones is going to be out in this game. Maybe. I don't want to say looks like he's going to be out. I don't know. He's questionable. That could mean Lord knows what.
Yeah.
But I feel like it'd just be the wrong time to pick against the Lions. Number 1 seed up for grabs in this game. They want to have it. They're hungry. Them boys go fight, and Jared Goff is just going to continue to ball. So I'm gonna roll with the Lions, man.
Okay.
I actually thought. I know you and I have talked a lot about KFC.
Yep.
And that's why I was wondering.
Yep.
That's why I thought where your
I-
heart wants to go.
I wanted to look for a way for the Minnesota Vikings to pull this off, but it's my head versus my heart here.
Yeah. I
My
get
head
it.
says Lions.
Yeah. Lions are beat to hell. But I think they're getting some guys back. You know, they're going to be as healthy as they can be. They really need that number 1 seed. I think home field for them really helps.
For sure.
I actually think this could be close. Man, that video of Bradford. Not Sam Bradford. I don't know why I said that.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah. Sam Bradford. My bad. Stretch.
It's a long time.
I knew what
Oh,
you meant.
Yeah.
you mean the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback?
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals, man. Yo,
talking
that
about-
aged badly. That
Oh.
aged
Oh,
horrifically.
yeah, they got a playoff shot too. Give me the Lions.
Oh,
31-27.
oh, damn! I'm on an island here. I'm going the Vikings, man.
You feeling it?
Yeah, I think KOC. What I saw him and Brian Flores do to Green Bay Packers last week, dog. They embarrassed him. And I know Aaron Jones is out. I was on Cam Akers' official visit in college. And he said, "My girlfriend ain't here. Bring me 2 of them." He's gonna score 2 touchdowns next week.
Dang, big call.
Yeah,
Okay.
huge call. Give me
All right.
the Vikings by a touchdown, and I think they score a lot of points. Jordan Addison is a monster. Like, I was thinking about this while I was taking a shower this morning. Really weird, and I know we got to go. Would you trade J.J. McCarthy and like something else in like all of your draft picks for Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase to put that in Minnesota? What would you need to give up from Minnesota? Like, Addison's
they don't-
gone.
They don't have enough. They don't have enough.
I don't think anybody has enough to pull
Yeah,
them out of the way.
Get rid of your
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
The
whole
Bengals would
franchise.
literally
can't-
just like sink
Yeah.
the franchise into the.
Like 4 first-round picks, you give J.J. McCarthy, Jordan Addison, Dallas Turner.
You'd have to give up the Twins. You'd have to half the Timberwolves
The
roster.
Twins.
Yeah, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah. give up Anthony
Yeah,
Edwards,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
now playing for.
Yeah, you have to give up Anthony Edwards. Dude, yeah, I don't think there's.
Oh.
I don't think there's any way
I
you
think
get.
honestly, I think that's the most untradeable combo
Ever, I think.
like, in a single year. Yeah, like plus it's like
Yeah.
Manning and Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's just like forbidden fruit. I was just thinking, would Jettas and Jamar ever play again together?
No.
And
I
I
don't-
just I don't think it can happen.
I think
unless they're
they're
like
too
old
good.
heads.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah,
There's just there. Yeah, you're literally talking about the 2 best
they lead the league in receiving, right?
They're 1 and 2, man.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
everything.
Yeah,
In everything.
And everything.
ain't no way.
And there's not even a third guy in my mind. Like there's nothing close.
CD's not close?
No, I don't think he's in the same stratosphere as the 2 right now. Right now, no. I think he's awesome.
Hey,
Who?
no, there's somebody. It's not about them two. It's somebody I'd take over CD.
You're not about to say Malik Neighbors, are you?
Oh no, it's Mike Evans.
I respect that opinion. And I'm not even going to clown because I think Mike Evans is going to have a gold jacket one day.
Mr. Consistency.
Yeah, like
for
straight
sure.
up. I think the world of Mike Evans, actually. If he wasn't a Tampa Bay Buck, I'd have his jersey. But
Just waiting on him
You're not
to
allowed
play
to.
his final year somewhere else.
yeah, bro, he's got to play it somewhere else.
Like, here's the jump. So Jamar has 1,612 yards. Everybody's played 16. Well, CD's only played 15 games, but I don't think he's getting this yards. But,
Yeah, yeah.
So 1,612 yards. JJ has 1,479. CD is third with 1,194, a 300-yard jump. And they have so Jamar has 16 touchdowns. Justin has 10. CD only has 6. St. Brown, Brian Thomas Jr., which he's a stud.
Hey, hey now.
Stud, dude.
Hey now.
Wide receiver unit.
Bro,
Gosh, I know.
LSU has reincarnated the Joe Burrow, Jamar, and Jetta's thing with Jaden Daniels, BTJ, and Neighbors. Neighbors is going to break every single rookie receiving record for a wide receiver. Brock Bowers, of course, did it for a tight end. I'm enamored with them, man. I think LSU is. It's crazy they didn't win a national title.
They couldn't stop anybody.
Good stuff.
Like, was it that bad, Jay?
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, they couldn't stop a nosebleed, dog. They were like historically bad on defense. I mean, they might as well have been rolling people out there from like the stands, throwing jerseys on people that bought like suite tickets. Be like, yeah, congratulations, you've bought a suite. You get to watch the first half, and in the second half, you get a helmet, pads, and you're gonna play defense.
Go and play safety for us, big boy.
Get out there.
Like, come on, dog. Horrible. It was horrible.
This was not a horrible show, boys.
Oh,
No,
Not
a
at
great
all.
Horrible show. What a great night. I'm glad everybody was out here. Grant, we appreciate everything you've done, buddy.
Thank y'all for having me. It's been great.
Yeah. We'll send you back to Tuscaloosa. As probably not so much change man, but
Experience and laughs and well fed.
Yeah. Yeah. So we appreciate everything, buddy. Appreciate all you boys.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
It was great.
Love you.
Yeah. We love all of yins. Like and subscribe, all the podcast things we ask for, all the social medias everywhere. We out.